All right, kiddos, we are going to finish up this unit very soon. So let's get into the last part of our expressions slide deck. Once again, here are our standards. These are our learning targets. And now that you know all about expressions, let's evaluate them. So you are going to sometimes be given a value for your variable. So up to now, I have said, like when we combine like terms, I would always say, okay, we can't do anything else with this because we have no idea what the value of the variable is. But now that's what we're going to look at when they give us the the value of the variable. I'm sorry, I have to plug in my slate here. I thought it was already plugged in. All right, so right here on this first example, they gave us use the value of 2 for m. So when we have the expression 6 plus m, we're literally substituting 2 for m. We plug it in, and then we can figure out that 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. So in this algebraic expression, when the value of m is 2, that expression is equal to 8. Easy enough, right? Yep. So evaluating expressions is simply plugging it in. A lot of times in math, we say plug and chug. That's what we're doing, plug and chug. All right. So if we have 10a and they tell us to replace the a with a 15, we'd simply multiply 10 times 15 and get 150. The second example tells us that x is equal to 3.2. We're plugging in 3.2 for x in this expression. And then we can evaluate it and get a value of 7.7. If you need some more examples, please go to the slide deck and watch this video. When evaluating expressions, substitute, which means put values where letters are, the given value into the appropriate place. So if we have the expression 7y, and we're given the instructions y is equal to 4, we're simply going to multiply 7 times 4, and the final answer is 28. What if I have y divided by 2? Well, if y is equal to 4, we're going to plug in 4 into our expression, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. All right, sometimes we can have long expressions like this one, and they've used y twice. Well, that's fine. If y is equal to 4, you're just plugging in 4 every time you see a y. So we would write 3 times 4 minus 2 plus 4. Don't forget about order of operations. So we would multiply first. 12 minus 2 plus 4. Then we go in order from left to right. So 12 minus 2 is 10, and 10 plus 4 is 14. All right, so you guys pause the video and give these a try. Evaluate the expression when y equals 8, and then come back and check your answers. So on this one, we're going to substitute 7 times 8. I got 56. When y is 8, 8 divided by 2 is 4. I'm going to substitute 8 for y. So 10 minus 8 is 2. We have 8 plus 6, and we get 14. And here we have 2 times 8 minus 7 plus 8. So 2 times 8 is 16 minus 7 plus 8. 16 minus 7 is 9, and 9 plus 8 is 17. Did you guys get the same answers? I bet you did. All right, this time you're going to use 2 different values. We have X and Y. So I want you guys to pause the video, give these a try, and then come back and check your answers. So when it's written like this doesn't simply mean write 2 and 5 together and get 25. No. This is a multiplication problem. X, Y means X times Y. 2 times 5 is 10. The next one, 3 times 2 plus 5. So we have 6 plus 5 is 11. The next one, we have 10 times 5 minus 4 times 2. So we have 50 minus 8, and I got 42. The next one, we have 3 times 2 plus 20 divided by 5 plus 5. So we're going to do 6 plus 4 plus 5. Whoops. And so we have 10 plus 5 is 15. And the last one, 10 times 2 plus 20 times 5. So we have 20 plus 100, and I got 120. Did you guys get the same answers as me? I hope you did. All right, guys. Now they can get, more and more complicated, but that's okay because we're just simply multiplying or adding whatever those values are. So here we would have 5 times 2 plus 2 squared minus 7 times 2 times 2. Don't forget about order of operation. Make sure you solve this in the right order and make sure you get the answer 6. If you don't have the answer 6, something happened. So figure out what your mistake is, please. All right, now on this one, it tells you exactly what to do in this order. So I want you to pause the video and make sure you get 106. And if you don't, read these steps again and make sure you're not doing them in the wrong order. All right, try this one, guys. I want you to try all of these and then check your answers. So the answer is 37. What about this one? So 2 to the 4th power means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 minus 3 plus 4. The answer is 17. All right, so here's a whole slide of different problems I want you to try. And the answers are given to you as well. So you guys try these. Here are your answers. And make sure you get all the same answers that's listed here on this slide. All right, the other, and then here's one with perimeter. We had this in our other video, but this time after we combine like terms and get 8x, now they're telling us to substitute 3 for x. So basically, we got 8x, so 8 times 3 is 24. Okie dokie. All right, so I am going to, let's see. All right, so for these, this is the formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism can be this. It is volume equals length times width times height. So you guys are going to substitute 33 for L, 47 for W, and 15 for height. And basically, this tells you to multiply those together. So I want you guys to try these problems, and the answers are given to you. No, they aren't. Whoops, I thought they were. All right, so let me give you the answers then. 33 times 47 times 15 is, I got 23,000. 265, and that would be meters cubed for volume. Did you guys get the same answers? Let me try it again. 33 times 47 times 15. Yep. All right. The formula for finding the volume of a cube is where S is equal to the length of one side. So basically, for a cube, it's going to be our side cubed. Okay. So it says, what is the volume of a cube with side lengths of 1/2 inches? So basically, we're putting 1/2 cubed, and our answer should be 1/8. Okay, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. All right, here's another rectangular prism. What is the volume of the prism if we have 3x? So they're telling me x is 2. And then we have 5 times, so we're multiplying length times width times height. So our width is 5 times 2, and our height is 2. So we're going to do 3 times 2 is 6 times 10 times 2. So I get 120 units cubed. The formula for finding the volume of a cube is, it left off the formula. It's S cubed, where S is equal to the length of one side of the cube. What is the volume of the cube with side lengths of 4n when n equals 6? So each side is 24. So we're going to cube 24, which means 24 times 24 times 24, which is a great big number, 13,824 units cubed. All right, guys. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, and this is for Monday's lesson, so you might need to come back and watch this again on Monday, is sometimes you're going to be given an expression like this, and you need to find common factors. So basically what we're doing here is we're going to do the opposite of the distributive property. Okay, so if I gave you this answer, 4 times 5 plus 6. All right, and I told you, all right, use the distributive property, guys, and rewrite this. You're going to write 20 plus 24, right? Well, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to take 20 plus 24. We're going to factor out the greatest common factor, and we're going to rewrite our expression like this. So first of all, you can list out the factors of 20. So 1 times 20 is 20, 2 times 10 is 20, and 4 times 5. So we've written out all of the factors of 20, and then we can write out the factors of 24. So 1 times 24 is 24, 2 times 12 is 24, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. And now we want to find the biggest number that is a common factor of 20 and 24, and that number is 4. So I'm going to pull out of 4. So basically what I'm doing is I'm dividing everything in the parentheses by 4. So what's 20 divided by 4? It's 5. And 24 divided by 4 is 6. And so that's how we're going to do the next few problems. All righty. All right, so let's try this one. So we're going to think of the factors of 2 and 10. Well, 2 is a prime number. The only factors are 1 and 2. So we know that both of these numbers can be divided by 2's. So we're literally pulling out a 2. So pull it out and then leave everything else in parentheses. So what's 2 divided by 2? It's 1, and 1 times y is just y. So 1 times y is just y. If it's a 1 coefficient, we don't need to write it. And then what's 10 divided by 2? It's 5. And then if you want to double check your answer, use the distributive property and make sure you get what we started with. 2 times y is 2y, and 2 times 5 is 10. And we go, oh yeah, that's what we got. So we're happy. Yay. All right, what about 6 and 9? What's the greatest common factor? What can they both be divided by? The answer is 3, right? So basically, think in your brain, we're dividing both by 3. So 6z divided by 3 is 2z. And then remember, if this is a minus, we're going to use a minus. So what's 9 divided by 3? 3. And then if we want to use the distributive property to check our answers, that is great. There we go. That's what we got. All right. What about if we had, let's pretend we started with 12x plus 3. Well, what can we divide 3 and 12 by? Well, 3 only has 2 factors, 1 in itself. So 3 is what we're going to factor out. So we're going to literally pull it out and leave whatever's left in the parentheses. So 12x divided by 3 is 4x. And what's 3 divided by 3? It's certainly not 0, is it? It's 1. And so that is our answer. Make sense? All right, so for a few more examples, if you need to, there is this video embedded in the slide deck, so watch that. And now I want you to pause the video, and I want you guys to practice factoring these by pulling out the greatest common factor. So let me just tell you one thing. So let's say, let me show you this before you, hopefully you didn't pause the video. All right, so let's say I'm looking for a common factor and I decide that 3 is a common factor. Well, it is, because 54 divided by 3 is 18. So 54m divided by 3 is 18m, plus 9 divided by 3 is 3. All right, But since I didn't pull out the greatest common factor, these two numbers still have a common factor. Okay, so I still created an answer that's equivalent to this one, but I want you guys to practice trying to find the greatest common factor. Okay, so the greatest common factor of 9 and 54 is 9. So when I divide 54 by 9, 54 divided by 9, I get 6m. And then 9 divided by 9 is 1. And I know that 1 and 6 don't have any common factors besides 1, and that never counts. Okay, so this is the best answer. All right, the second one, you could have pulled out a 2, but that's not the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is a 4. So 8x divided by 4 is 2x, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. All right, did you think of your greatest common factor? Hopefully you remembered it was a 10. And then we would have 4m plus 3. What about number 4? What'd y'all get? Pull out an 11. So we have 3x plus 7. All right, number 5. Our greatest common factor is it's small, isn't it? It's only a 2. Just a 2. So what's half of 36? 18. 18m plus 5. And then if you're not sure, look at these two numbers. Do they have a common factor? They do not, so I know that 2 is actually the greatest common factor, even though it's a small number. All right, let's see. Can 64 be divided by 16? It sure can. So our greatest common factor is 16. So 64x divided by 16 is 4x. And 16 divided by 16 is 1. All right, guys, I hope you got them all. And if you didn't, I hope you realize now what maybe you did wrong. All right, guys, so there's a few more practice problems in the slide deck. I'd love for you to do those if you choose to. And now you have enough information to do Friday's assignment, which is for December 9th, and Monday's assignment, December 12th. All right, guys, if I don't talk to you again, have a great weekend, and I will check on you guys next week.